I'm very pleased to be with you tonight for the Roger Watts debate. This debate provides us with the opportunity to showcase our undergraduate students to the community and to fellow students. In a time of global uncertainty, this event truly reinforces the importance of debate. It is vital, now more than ever, to conduct civil conversations that consider various opinions and experiences when discussing difficult subject matter.
I'm sure many of you here today have grown up hearing stories about Canada's World War I and World War II experiences. But today, the Canadian Armed Forces are merely a shadow of the past. According to a report published by the Department of National Defence, the Canadian Army, 54% of Canada's Navy, 55% of Canada's Air Force, and 46% of Canada's Ground Army are currently not serviceable. We propose the creation of a national drone program for civilian and military use. In today's debate, I will establish the model for the proposed program and explain why drones represent a highly cost-efficient way of rebuilding Canada's military might in the short term. Today, we propose implementing a 5-year drone building program. It will feature an investment of 12 billion Canadian dollars, which will be split across drones of 3 main categories. This will allow Canada to deploy a limited but highly capable fleet of advanced drones, a substantial number of medium-range tactical systems, and a large-scale base of low-cost drones for primarily domestic resilience and high-risk areas. Drones are not just an emerging technology. They're becoming central to modern military and civilian operations. Canada needs to rebuild its army by implementing a drone program right now, because the world does not give us the time to wait.
In this debate, it could not be more clear that the government is confusing new technology with real capability. Simply put, as side opposition, we ground this debate in the crisis. There is an issue, our military is insufficient, and we do not believe that slapping a drone program Band-Aid on it will solve anything. Canada should use drones where needed and after prioritizing the core structural military issues like infrastructure and shortage of personnel. We agree with the government's diagnosis. Where we disagree is the solution, and we do so on 2 claims. Firstly, the drone program itself will not be effective in practice. The whole point of using drones is that by removing the human pilot from the aircraft, the cost of protecting that human can be avoided. But at a cost of what will be more than $100 million each, and taking over a decade to purchase, these drones cannot be put in harm's way. So essentially, the government's claim does not look like a quick or even scalable answer to Canada's crisis. Drones may be able to help locate, detect, and survey, but actual response still depends on personnel and infrastructure. So even if this program is implemented effectively, it leaves the underlying system unchanged. This means that the government is not offering a solution to Canada's military weakness. They're offering a costly addition to a system that is still broken.
In an era defined by rapid technological change, emerging security threats, and a vast, unforgiving geography, drones are not a luxury or a novelty. They're a necessary tool of a modern state. A national drone program is simply the most cost-efficient way to build our military at this very moment. The dual use is what makes this program so unique. The real cost question here is, do we build this program now, deliberately and efficiently, or do we wait and we pay later in dollars, in lives, and in the national embarrassment of watching every comparable country deploy this capability while we debate of whether we can afford it? Dual-use drones can save lives and protect sovereignty simultaneously. A drone that can carry 100 pounds of payload for a military mission can carry 100 pounds of supplies to a remote community. 20 minutes. That's what this program means to the hiker on Mount Seymour. It means a wildfire detected before tens of thousands of Canadians are told to leave their homes. It means insulin reaching a remote community that has been rationing through a weather delay with no alternative. And it means a military that can finally defend a country the size of Canada in the modern world.
The great thing about drones is that we don't need a domestic program to acquire them. I haven't heard any reasons from side government as to why we need a domestic program for drones to get all the civilian benefits we've heard of. We don't need to spend $12 billion making our own program when we can purchase drones that have all these uses. The only kind of drones that can do anything useful for our purposes are not cheap ones. And there is almost always something else that can do it better. A cargo plane designed for flights to remote areas can also carry 4 times what a drone can carry. Make no mistake, drones are no alternative for proper cargo and rescue vehicles, and whatever other niche uses they have, we can purchase them. And no drone, no matter how advanced or expensive, can hold territory. If we're going to spend heavily on the military, we need to do it right, not invest $12 billion in a partial solution that cannot be properly implemented with money that would be better spent elsewhere.
Currently, Canada already has a commitment of spending 82 billion Canadian dollars on logistics, personnel, infrastructure, and all these crucial aspects of Canadian military, the conventional military. What we're proposing is to spend $12 billion on top of that to additionally produce a drone capability. It won't be spent on procurement, it will be spent on domestically building drones, so as to ensure that we're not dependent on supply chains for our national security.
Canada currently has shortages in personnel, training, infrastructure, everything, right?
That's what I'm saying.
This necessitates a functioning military before it necessitates drones, right?
It's already been noted that the current commitments to bettering personnel and the administrative process are insufficient. So what we're suggesting is more than that. We need to do more. We need to actually make it work.
What exactly do your core structural issues address?
Personnel shortages, infrastructure shortages, as my partner mentioned.
Proper surveillance in the Arctic. Okay, I think one really big question...
let me just ask you a clarificatory question, right? What do you do without drones if you're attacked by drones? Tell me that. What if we're somehow attacked by drones?
We can buy drones. We don't need a domestic program for drones.
From who can we buy drones?
If we can defend our sovereignty and save lives at the same time, then why not do it?
A Swiss Army knife has multiple purposes, but if we go camping and you only bring a Swiss Army knife, I'm not going to be pleased. So the problems that we have that need drones specifically, why can't we purchase them? Why do we need specifically a national program?
Again, we're complementing a broader investment into Canadian military with the drone program. We're not abandoning a broader investment. We're adding drone program on top.
Both sides agree that Canada has an urgent military problem. So the question is not, are drones useful or cool? The question is, does this program create meaningful, timely military capability? And their arguments simply do not answer this question. Cheaper than blank does not matter if you cannot scale or deploy these drones effectively. So their claims have no impact until they actually fix the structural problem.
We showed that drones are a cost-effective solution that will significantly improve the military and civilian status quo while avoiding imposing unnecessarily heavy burden on the Canadian citizens. This debate is not just about technology, it's about responsibility. The responsibility to act early, to invest wisely, and to protect our citizens. Drones are the future, and they are Canada's path to a safer and brighter tomorrow.
Just like the Academy Awards. So the winner is the government.